Hey, you guys, I am in the building for the You Say What show. You guys come on in. I haven't did the You Say What show because of the time that it takes to actually put it together. But I got time today, y'all. I got a couple of good topics I want to talk about today. But before we get started, go ahead and click the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely in your budget and free. Share with somebody so they could come on in and be part of the You Say What show as well. And also give the video a thumbs up. Engage with me down in the comments. You already know that I'll talk to you back in the comments, you guys. I feel like you guys are just my family. So I finally got me, well, I normally get a day off, but I always go in on my day off. So I decided today, Sherry, sit your happy hips, because my hips are happy, down today and actually put some content together, get it all in your computer or your phone or whatever you're going to do. Go ahead and get it posted for the rest of the week, you guys, and then I'll be working for the rest of the week, but I already have content loaded, preloaded up. So it is Tuesday, and this one is going to drop, guess when? Tuesday! So let's go ahead and get into these topics, you guys. Let's talk about Britney Griner, the young lady that plays basketball, and she is over in a Russian prison. She actually got not indicted, but sentenced to 9 years in a Russian prison. Honey, I've been praying, y'all, for this girl. I don't know what I would do if I got locked up for 9 years or one of my children got locked up for 9 years. But I don't know what I would do if my child got locked up for 9 years in another country. But then I don't know what I would do if my children got locked up for 9 years in a Russian prison. It's just something, honey, about Russia that just kind of put a little fear in you. A Russian prison. So I did some research on her. Guys, I'm not big into basketball and sports or anything like that, but this young lady is a professional basketball player. She actually plays overseas as well, and she's with the Phoenix Mercury, it's called. Now, what happened, you guys may know or may not know, but for the sake of this podcast, let me let you know. February 2022, she got arrested. She got charged with drugs. Now, this is what she had. She had a vapor cartridge with less than 1 gram of hash oil. I don't know grams, ounces, pints, and all of that different stuff. But she got caught with some hash oil. Now, this was for medicinal purposes, which is legal in the U.S. But y'all, the U.S. make a lot of stuff legal, but everything ain't legal in other countries. So this young girl got locked up. I can't pronounce the name of the prison, y'all. It's a long Russian name. We're not going to get into that. The child is in prison. Okay? So in July of 2022, you guys, President Biden did approve a trade, but Russia wanted to get, what did they do? They approved a trade of a person that they have locked up in America. But Russia wanted to add another person in order to let this girl go. Now, the name of the person, you guys, that they wanted to let that they wanted to trade as well as the other person. So they wanted two for R1 was, his name is Vidal Kaskavov. Honey, let me tell you this man. He's in life in prison for assassinating people in Germany. That's the trade. So I guess the deal did not go through. This young lady got 9 years. You guys, much prayer for her. I just read that she filed an appeal with the Russian, I guess, government or what have you, to try to get out early. You guys, oh my God. First of all, that's somebody's child. Second of all, you're in the middle of a political bull crap, pawns, other stuff. This really doesn't have a lot to do with her, but she's being used in this whole political game that they have going on. You guys, okay, so I was talking to my son, and let me know, really let me know your thoughts on this. Tell me if I'm wrong. You guys, I will not get mad if you be like, sure, you did wrong for that. You know, or that's not incorrect, or I feel this way. Let's do this. We can have healthy disagreements, okay? Now, so this is my thought. This young lady played overseas. Okay, I get that. So when you play overseas, you're with whatever the organization, let me get it right, for basketball is NCAA. Let me know if I'm right. It's NCAA. And she's with the women basketball league thing. Okay, so a lot of them play overseas. But when you play overseas and there's an organization that you're playing with, I guess there's some type of chaperone, coach, whoever. This was one of my things. Why didn't the coach or the organization or whoever traveled with them to take these ladies, to Russia to play, didn't go over like things to do, things not to do, things that's prevented, things that is acceptable in that country? Okay. So when I used to sit and please don't think I'm downplaying by putting this analysis with my children going to camp, but I'm trying to make a point here. When my children used to go to camp, they sent us like a checklist to say, this is what you can bring, this is what you can't bring, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, this is, blah, 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 to break it down. And we had this checklist of things that they could do. Take it further than that. That's just camping. My daughter went to, she went out of seas. She had to get a passport and everything like that. It was some little island they went to when she was in like junior high school. And so they told us different policies and stuff that they had in place at that country, that little place that they went to not little place, but that country that they went to, of what was acceptable and what was not acceptable there. So when you got there, was no, if you got there was no misunderstanding, no misinterpretation. You didn't violate any of their policy, procedures, requirements, or whatever they say that you can and cannot do or take into that country. Okay, so I've been out of country before internationally, and I always, for me personally, do my research to find out what do they do in this country. What can I take, what cannot take. I know with TSA, we all do research with TSA. You can only take items that are under 4 ounces or 3 ounces or something like that, or liquid, and certain things you can't have in your bag, and all of this different stuff. Was there not anybody, or did she not research? Even though it's lawful in America doesn't mean it's lawful across the world. That's what I think she didn't get. So did she not do research? Did somebody not tell her, not knowing that she had it? Because they're grown adults. They're not going to go through everybody's bag to see what you have. But say, hey, you can't take any drugs into another country, regardless if it is legal in our country. Now, if they sent out documentation like that and she decided to do it and try to sneak it in, then that would be totally on her. But was any of that given? Do they not inform these ladies what you can and cannot do? Because I think her stance was, I guess she just didn't know, or did she try to sneak it in? That's my thing. Am I too far to the left? Well, this is left. Too far to the left, or does that make sense? Like, I'm debating where I'm going on vacation this year at the end of the year. So I got some vacation hours, you guys. I got to take them or we lose them because they don't roll over. So I'm debating if I'm going to, say, Jamaica, or what was the other one I want to go to? Something that we're down in Mexico or something. But I'm going to research for myself and, with the agent that I'm going through, what all can we do? What's the requirements for COVID? Do I have to be vaccinated? Do I just have to take the test? Is it 3 days? Will they accept the instant test? These are things that you research so that you're fully aware of what you're supposed to do. Even when I go to different countries, I research the culture there. Like, how do the women dress there? I'm taking me some short shorts or something like that to be on the beach, but maybe it's offensive in that country for women to wear short shorts. So you want to do those kind of research. Did anybody not inform them ladies that you can't take stuff over there, especially Russia or any country for that matter? Didn't anybody not research that as to why she had that in her bag and thought because it was okay and for medicinal purposes and it was prescribed to her? I think the article said in Arizona that you can't do that? I don't know. So now she's there. Prayerfully, she gets out for 9 years. I don't know how to process that. Over something to them, I guess it could be major. Because some countries, you guys know, have stiff penalties for stuff that we take slightly. They don't play in other countries. I remember years ago, it was this young man. He went to somewhere, I want to say in Asia or somewhere, and he graffitied their something there, and they flogged him. Anybody put in the comments if you remember this story. They flogged him for graffiti. You know, honey, you go to New York, it's graffiti everywhere. Every train I see in Ohio that rides down the road, there's somebody that graffitied. Over the top of the highways, they graffiti. I don't know how they get up there, but they graffiti stuff. But over in other countries, you're not graffitiing their stuff. It has stiff penalties, and they're not as lenient as America is. And America fought for this young man to not be flogged, but baby, they flogged him. Now, they didn't flog him as many counts as they wanted to. I think they negotiated on that, but I think he got 3 good flogs. And baby, if you ever seen the flog stick, that sucker was, honey, when they showed it on TV, it looked like it was a mouth. They just, wow. Honey, one hit of that will rip your skin. And I think they may have did the boy about 3 times, but it was supposed to be like 9 or 10 or something. I don't know what it was. But that was a stiff penalty. And we think, oh, it's just graffiti. No, honey, they serious. You don't come over here marking up our stuff, tearing up our country because you think you can. And why would you mess up somebody else's country anyways? Why would you mess up your own? But don't take that mess over there. So, honey, pray for sis. Pray for her. Pray for her. Pray for the appeal. Hopefully it'll go through. What do you feel about it? Some people, it's so many mixed comments on it. Some of the stuff is heartbreaking that people say about her. That's what she get. I bet she won't take a knee now. She says she never did like America. And then someone said that I bet if it was, I think, not Kobe, LeBron James, they would have locked him up. And, you know, so it's all of that different things that's going on, and some people are like, that's what she get. And then some people are saying, well, they're only saying that because she's black, because if it was somebody white, they would have got out a little bit faster than that. And it's just a lot, you guys. At the end of the day, that is somebody's child that was, I don't know if she was misinformed, even if she snuck it in trying to, you know, thought she could get it through. I don't know what the situation was, how it got through, either intentional or unintentional. 9 years to me is extreme on any level. 9 years would be extreme if you lived over there and you was a Russian. It's just extreme. Okay, so that's the story, honey, on Sister Britney. So now I have posted a picture, you guys, on Instagram. Now the picture that I posted on Instagram, you guys, it had, it had, my son was sitting out in his car. Now if you haven't seen it, this is the picture. If you look at that picture up in the sky, you can see a skull. Now, some people said they didn't see it, honey. I clearly saw it. And he saw it because he was looking at it, and he tilted his head and was like, is that a skull? So he took a picture of it and sent it in our group text, you guys. So he sent it to me, and I didn't look at it at the time. You know, I was busy. And I finally go, we do a lot in the group text. Y'all got group text? Honey, I told them, delete the group text when I die, because baby, if that group text ever get out, it's some stuff in the group text, y'all. That's a whole nother conversation. Baby, the group text be hot, baby. There be some cut up in the group text, y'all. So when I finally looked at the group text and saw it, I said, that looks like death. Like, there's death in that neighborhood. Be prayerful. Now, he didn't check the messages until later. But what he told me, you guys, was that skull that he saw. He said he was sitting out in his car and he just kept looking at it. He finally took a picture. You know how you get home and you just sit in the car for like 10 minutes, like thinking about life. How the heck did I get here? Why? You know what I'm saying? You just sit there like, oh, I just don't even feel like getting out and walking up the steps to go in the house type moments. So he kept sitting in the car. He said maybe about 10 minutes after, guys, he heard shooting coming from the direction, you guys, where the skull was. He heard shooting, and he heard police sirens and fire trucks shortly after that. Y'all better be paying attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what's going on. There are signs, you guys, regardless if you believe it or not. You can think I'm cuckoo, you can think I'm crazy, but if you really open your eyes up, there's a lot of signs of stuff that's going on around us that people are just like, oh, I don't see it. Oh, that ain't no, you crazy, you this, that. No, to me, that was an entire skull. And right in that area, some shooting took place coming from that same area. And I don't know, I didn't see it on the news that anyone was killed or anything like that. But there was definitely a shooting shortly after that. There are signs in the atmosphere, you guys. Pay attention. Okay, so this one here, y'all, and Heche, 53-year-old actress, beautiful woman. Now, she played in Wag the Dog, and she played in Donnie Brasco. She played in a number of different movies. Now, Annie had passed, she died. Okay, she died. So there's a video footage, and I'm gonna show you guys the video. She's going down this neighborhood street in a little blue Mini Coupe. Y'all, it looked like she's going to like 100 miles an hour. So she's going 100-something miles an hour. She ends up running into a house in somebody's living room. Y'all, can you even imagine sitting in your living room and a car come crashing through your living room? Baby, just a level, like I'm sitting here now in my living room and a whole car come through here. Well, let me check and see. Baby, I would be, regardless if I got hurt at all, you would be shook. And I don't know if they said anybody in the house died, but she died later on. They said she died at the scene of the crime, at the scene of the accident. But then they said, no, I take that back. They said she didn't die. Hold on, let's do this. Watch the video first.
That we just got into our newsroom. You can see the moments before the crash. You will see a blue Mini Cooper fly by on the street here, leading up into this house. You can see that actress Heche was going at a high rate of speed, at least according to the video here. This is Ring camera footage. And now take a look at this other video that we're going to show you this afternoon. You can see the fiery aftermath from this crash, following this bad crash. It all happened on South Walgrove Avenue just before 11 o'clock this morning. The car, that Mini Cooper, barreled through the house, causing a massive fire. Firefighters knocked down the flames and pulled the charred car out of the home. The driver's license plates come back to actress Heche. Sky Fox video shows Heche pop up disoriented while she's wrapped in a white cloth following this crash. Neighbors in the area have been rushing to this scene all afternoon to try to figure out what was going on. Take a listen to what this one witness had to say about what she saw.
There was 3 fire engines here and a lot of commotion. But the result was the fire that was going on, the billows of fire were so like 200 feet high, so I know it had to be pretty severe inside.
So you guys, apparently she was not dead at the time. But only thing I couldn't understand, they said she was a victim, but she was not a deceased at the time. The only thing I couldn't understand is on the gurney, why do you have her face and everything totally wrapped up in a white sheet? Whenever they bring someone, now my grandfather passed away at home, and when the funeral home took him out, they had him, zipped up in a body bag. Or if you're at a hospital and they're taking someone down the hallway and they are deceased, then you put a white cloth over them. When my brother passed away, when they took him out of the room, when we took him off of life support, and they took him out of the room, they put a not a body bag, but a white sheet over his face. If this woman was not dead, then why wrap her up in a white sheet? That part I don't get. You had already announced who she was, so it wasn't like you were, I don't know if they were trying to keep her face from the camera or cameras or whatever, but I don't understand why you got a sheet over the top of this woman's face if she's not dead. That's what I don't get. And then when she pops up, now I don't know. I read some things and that people said sometimes you could be traumatized and your adrenaline goes and you pop up, but it doesn't mean that you're going to live. But they said she died of brain injuries later, and they took her off of life support, and she had donated her organs and things like that. But this is what I actually been reading about, and is the girl, she has a new movie coming out. Now they said they're going to release this movie. I think it's September. They're still going to go for it with releasing this movie. It's called Girl in Room 13. And so she's bringing awareness to sex trafficking. Now, when I go back a little bit more, I'm finding out that she also had a movie called Chemtrails. So she's bringing a lot of exposure to things that people want to have hidden. I don't know. You know, there's always this conspiracy that they're killing off people that do too much, exposure. We know that to be true. Guys, we know it to be true. If there's anybody that's trying to empower people or inform people of secret things that are going on, or exposing bigger organizations and entities, you may find yourself gone mysteriously. In a car crash, you know what I'm saying? Overdose, just happened to overdose in drugs. Just something about that just really doesn't sit right. So if there's any nurses, doctors out there that may watch this, send it to somebody. Let me know what the deal is with this woman getting off of the gurney, because I just know when my brother was brain dead, because he was a vegetable, he did not get up. He didn't move. He did nothing. So I'm wondering how this lady busts out of a sheet and sit up on the gurney. So that's the whole thing. And chemtrails, check out chemtrails. I remember those as a kid. We would see these white lines. And I think the guy that really made me start thinking about that, this was years later. I was watching some type of documentary or YouTube video on Gregory Dickinson. Oh God, what is that man's name? He's an older black dude, super smart. He's passed away now. Oh God, let me think of his name. Hold on, I gotta get his name, God. Y'all, hold on. Dick Gregory. I knew it was Dickinson Gray or something. Dick Gregory. I watched some documentaries, and this man intrigued me because he was so full of information and knowledge. But I first knew him as a comedian, not knowing that he, was really insightful on some things. And he talked about the chemtrails. And when he began to talk about chemtrails, I remember this as a kid that I used to live on Vine Street in Cincinnati, and I would look outside. My bedroom was like on the back side. We would look outside, and this was when you could always see stars. It was like the whole sky would be full of stars, but then you would see this white trail, this white line in the multiple white lines, some go this way and that way. They would be in the sky sometimes. And when he mentioned it in the video, he said, and you never heard an airplane. And he said, those are chemtrails, where they're dropping chemicals in certain neighborhoods. And he said, and the people that night, it would be chaotic that night, or people were fighting the next morning. It just was a lot going on in those particular areas where you would see chemtrails. And I thought about it like, I remember seeing, y'all, I'm not tripping. I remember seeing those lines in the sky, and I never heard an airplane at the time that I would see those chemtrails in the atmosphere, in the sky. And so that was something that really intrigued me, and I began to follow him. But anyone that brings some type of enlightenment or information to people that people are not privy to or don't know anything about, or really, make them start waking up, if that's what you want to call it, being woke, not some of this new woke, but actually being looking at the government and different things and the strategies of the system that's against certain groups of people, regardless if it's economic wise or race reasons, it begins to make you think. They'll put those people off as being spooky or crazy or they're loony and that you shouldn't listen to them. But when you really listen to them, you're like, okay, now wait a minute. This man ain't crazy. So that right there. And they said that she had a movie called Chemtrails. I'm going to go and research that. So this woman was tapping into some areas that people may not have wanted her to tap into. So they're saying maybe they took her out. But she did have a history of, she grew up in abuse and she had some drug issues and all of those different things. And people have a past or what have you. So sometimes they would try to contribute those things. Now, I did read something that the LAPD said that she was under the influence of cocaine, but now they have dismissed any other investigation into that accident. So you're just going to throw that out there and just attribute it to cocaine. Ain't going to talk to her family, ain't going to, just nothing, just we're going to dismiss it. You guys, there's a lot going on. I saw that. I said, you say, what? Honey, I'm going to watch this movie called Girl in Room 13, and it's bringing enlightenment to a lot of sex trafficking. And there's a whole lot going on, because I think it was Wayfair that had these certain pieces of furniture that were like, it was a cabinet. The cabinet was like $5,000. And then the name of the cabinet will say something like Megan. But then you will find some little girl missing named Megan. And you'll wonder, why is a cabinet $5,000? And it was multiple companies that were selling pieces of furniture or a table, a regular coffee table. But a coffee table was like $10,000. And they were starting to link children's names to that particular thing. Did I ever tell you the story about my son's friend, little girl that he used to walk home and she got snatched in sex trafficking? That's a story time. I'm about to do that now. You guys go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Click the bell for notifications. And we will see you again on Friday, because I'm on cue now. Whoa. Bye, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the You Say What show. Peace.